Hey y'all, Merry Christmas. I just wanted to give you guys a update of the Rimfire Finale, just for me personally. And so let's get to it. What's up, everybody? So this finale was very challenging, probably the most challenging match I've ever shot. I had never shot a two-day match before this one. I've only shot one-day centerfire or rimfire matches. So it was challenging, to say the least, with the small targets and the wins that we were getting, especially in day one. I ended up placing 6th place for the entire series, and I just want to give congratulations to Chris Simmons, who burned it down both days and ended up winning the match, and to Ronald Veron, I hope I pronounced your name right, for winning the series. So congratulations to you guys for accomplishing an awesome feat, especially in this challenging finale with the course of fire and the wins that we were getting. Day one ended up being the most challenging for me personally. We were shooting in the center fire portion of the property. The day one there's 10 stages for day one. Everybody was in the center fire portion of the range, and then day two we switched to the 22, the dedicated 22 portion of the range. But day one was just very challenging because we didn't really have any backstops, but that's not to make an excuse, because I'm used to shooting without backstops, especially up here in North Texas. About my favorite stage. My favorite stage was the helicopter stage, which was stage 10, which ended up, it was a troop line. The first part of it was you're shooting in front of the helicopter, and it was a troop line, hit or miss, move on, one shot each. I think it was from 75 to 300, I believe. And then you go, after shooting 5 shots on the troop line, you move to the back of the helicopter, and you're shooting 90 degrees in the other direction, or you're shooting 90 degrees from the troop line direction. So you had to change, it wasn't the same wind. I ended up having to hold a full middle wind. It was a KYL at 200 yards, I believe, and I ended up cleaning the KYL. I think I got like a 8 out of 10 for the stage. I got a 3 out of 5 on the troop line, and then I ended up cleaning the KYL, so that felt pretty good. But my least favorite stage was the stage after stage 10, which we had to go back to stage 1. It was a 3 target. There was 3 targets, and we had to shoot off the bench far to near, and then hit or miss, move on, and then switch to the tank trap near to far, switch to the bench far to near, and then switch to the tank trap and shoot the far target. That I ended up getting a 2 out of 10. That was probably my lowest score for the entire 2-day match. I just couldn't find the wind, and ended up connecting eventually at near the end. I was trying to switch from one bracket to another, but I had no idea. I couldn't see my impacts, or I couldn't see my misses. So if you can't see your miss, you just kind of felt helpless. But I ended up connecting with 2 out of 10 points for that stage. After the match on day one, Derek Webster came up to me and just encouraged me and told me to look at it as a marathon rather than a sprint. He shot many 2-day matches. He's an AG Cup guy, so he's very experienced, and so that was very helpful, just to have that reminder, because I've never shot a 2-day match before this, and he just told me look at it as a marathon. Anything could happen on day 2, and he's right. And I also have my coach and mentor, Dan Jarecki, who's also one of the top shooters in the country. and he just told me to focus on one quality shot at a time. Don't worry about scores or what other people are scoring, but just worry about my own game. Like, I knew that coming into the match, but like when somebody else says that, like, it's just different. It hits you differently. So I appreciated that from both of them. So day 2 ended up becoming a lot better for me. I was able to gain some ground, and I ended up finishing 17th for the match, which put me at 6th place for the entire season in the country. So that felt really good. I was hoping to at least break the top 5, but 6th place, I'll take it. I'm thankful for that. I just want to give a shout out to Squad 1. I guess we were the super squad. We had Justin Carbone, who burned it down. Yeah, I think he's from Minnesota. I got to meet him a few weekends ago during the match, the finale, and a great guy. He was running an on-shoots rifle. I think he was the only one running that rifle, or maybe another person too, but he burned it down. That rifle can shoot, but most importantly, like, the shooter, Justin Carbone, can shoot. We had Ben Elisea. He's a friend of mine, fellow Texan friend of mine, who ended up finishing, I think, 3rd place overall in the season. Chris Bagg, I think he's from Alabama. Finally got to meet him, so it's nice to meet you, Chris. And it was nice shooting with you. I'm glad I got to do a video of you on that one stage. And Ben Blevins from Kentucky. Tony Gore, he's a fellow Texas friend of mine, and Timothy Nowak, who's from Michigan. Awesome dude. Michigan people just burned it down that weekend, and you guys have been burning down lately. Timothy, you're an awesome person. It was nice to meet you. Greg Stewart and Matt Steiner from the Northeast, you guys are amazing. Ronald Varon was in my squad, and he ended up finishing 1st place for the entire series. And Michael Vesperman, who is a fellow Texas friend of mine, and Levi Wilson. He's a phenomenal non-sponsored shooter. I think he was the only shooter that wasn't wearing a logo. He was just wearing regular clothes, and like he was a phenomenal shooter. It was great meeting you guys. Some updates for next year. I would love to shoot at least one 2-day match right before the PRS Rimfire Finale. I'm not sure what the date is for that yet. I think it's in December. We're gonna host it again in Texas and College Station. But I think I wanna shoot at least one 2-day center fire match just to prepare myself mentally. Like, coming into the Rimfire Finale match a few weeks ago, like, I don't think I was mentally prepared to do a 2-day match. So I think it would be good for me to do that. I'll be running the same rifle from DI Precision this year, which is the company that I shoot for. But I'll be making a few accessory changes. I'll be instead of running the regular Arca rail, I'm going to be running Kent Rush's Anarchy brass Arca rail, which is I think it's 1.5 pounds, I believe, of weight on the front. So I want to put more weight in the rifle and maybe add some lead weights in the fore end of the foundation stocks. So those are some of the few changes on my gear, and some other things that are still kind of confidential. I plan on getting into center fire again. I bought myself Impact Action and another Centurion foundation stocks a month ago. So it's funny because a lot of people use the 22 as a trainer for center fire, but for me, I'm using the center fire as a trainer for the 22. I just want to use it to complement my 22 game. I feel like I've been like slacking off on fundamentals since I haven't shot a center fire match in like a year. So I want to get back into center fire, maybe at least 2 or 3 1-day matches, and hopefully maybe a one 2-day match. So we'll see what happens. My focus is still going to be mainly on 22 matches. I'm hoping to defend my title as Central Region's top shooter this year. So got to keep that title. As far as updates, I'm very thankful for how this season went. I accomplished a lot of great personal goals. and the people that I was able to meet. And thank you guys for watching this channel. Stay tuned for next Thursday, not this Thursday, Thursday the 30th, Thursday night. I'm gonna have Caleb Pullum, our top production shooter in the country. We're planning, and Tony, who's also the 4-gun guy on YouTube. We're planning on doing a YouTube live. So we're just gonna get to know those two guys and maybe discuss some topics. Maybe talk about the 22 finale, and just want to ask questions to those guys, and especially Caleb, who won top production for this year in the Rimfire finale. So stay tuned. Thank you guys for watching.